All right, Kiss Army, welcome to the KissFAQ Podcast. Thank you for giving us your time today and letting us into your head. I hope we don't do any damage. This is a Kiss-related podcast by the board, for the board. We hope that you enjoy.
And take two. Welcome to episode 292 of the KissFAQ Podcast. I'm your host, Julian Gill. I'm an idiot. But,
No, you're an idiot. No, you're not. I know.
It's really early. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I've been up for half an hour, and I'm on my second cup of tea. But
Groundhog Day.
you know what? It's kind enough of Andy Moyen to join us to give us a recap of the first show of Leg 5 of the Kiss Never Ending of the Road Tour, which kicked off last night in what city? What town?
Manchester, New Hampshire.
Okay,
New Hampshire.
thank you.
Or some people they call around here, it's called Match Vegas.
Well, it's a little outside my wheelhouse of any places I've ever been. I don't think I've been to New Hampshire. I've been to Vermont, but that's as far as I ever got. I used to go to camp in the Adirondacks, and we got dragged off across the border or something. It's so long ago, I don't remember. But anyway, it's basically 1 year ago since the End of the Road Tour kicked off, January the 31st in Vancouver, which was, of course, a show I flew into to go and see. But you guys drove up from Boston to participate in a lot of fun and excitement for this show. Before we talk about the show, I want to just talk about you guys going up there and some of the fun that you've had, because obviously you always organize meetups. You're great in getting fans together, bringing people to pretty cool places to have a drink or a conversation before a show. So what did you do this year for this one, and kind of how have you celebrated this weekend?
Well, we did it at a place called Murphy's Tap Room, across the street from the arena, kind of diagonally. And I have my buddy there, Pasquale, or Pask as people call it, from Kiss Army Nation. And actually, Pask is in the house, so I'll throw him on for a couple seconds. He can get in on this because he helps out too. And it's pretty easy, man. Contact the boss, say, hey, man, you want a bunch of Kiss fans raiding your place and making you a lot of money? The end. That's basically what it is. And,
really? Here, money. Yeah. Will you do it? Money. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they always ask, well, what do you want? Well, what I want is, can we just come and hang out? I mean, it's a bar anyways. People are going to come hang out anyways. But you're just like, hey, can you play the Kiss tunes? Which they didn't. That's probably the biggest flank from last night is they didn't play the Kiss tunes. I thought it was weird, but people didn't even say it. But it was packed. The place was super packed. We started at 4:30. It was an upstairs and then a downstairs. We were downstairs, like 10 of us to start. And there were a lot of people already upstairs, but they were like, oh, you guys, all the Kiss fans go downstairs. We're like, oh, we're getting put in a dungeon in the cold at first. It's kind of weird. It was like, and then all of a sudden, like by like 4:30, 5 o'clock, it was like, wham! All of a sudden, just like people all over the place. It was fun. Again, people are like thanking us left and right. It's, but I guess I don't know, I've just been doing it for so long, doing these kind of things, just trying to get people together, old friends, meet up with old friends from around the world again, or United States, wherever you come from, and then, try to make new friends. Some people are like, wow, this is pretty cool. It's the first time I ever did this. So that's interesting in that perspective, and that's what we did. So that's, pretty cool, again. Pasquale, from Kiss Army Nation jumped in. Pask, where are you? Get over here.
Now, he's from Toronto, isn't he?
No, he's from Montreal.
Oh, I'm in trouble now.
Figure it, man. I'm from New England. He's from Montreal. We're not fighting him. I actually let him sleep up here. So you can talk about that. Here, I'll throw him on for a few minutes, and then you can throw my ugly mouth.
Yeah, cool.
Right? Yeah. Why not? What the hell, right?
Yeah, jump on in here. Have a new guest on the show.
He's a virgin, too, right? On the show?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to get questioned. He always has the questions for the virgins. Here we go. Oh, ready? Welcome, everybody. Pasquale from Kiss Army Nation.
Hey, everyone.
Pasquale from Kiss Army Nation. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. You? Thanks for having me on. It's awesome.
Hey,
no problem. My first time.
Well, good to meet you. And, I always put new folk who come on my show through the ringer. And I want to know about you as a Kiss fan. How did you become a Kiss fan?
Oh, my goodness. I I became a Kiss fan. I was 8 years old in 1976. I was always into horror movies, sci-fi, and I remember being outside listening to people talking about the Catman, the Star Child, and I was like, asking myself, "Whoa, what is that about?" So they told me, "Go check out the record stores." So I went, and my first album, Destroyer, and that made an impact on me. Seeing the cover with Kiss behind a devastated city, very comic book like, and I bought it. And my favorite song, always Detroit Rock City. The car starting up and the car crash at the end. God of Thunder with the screaming child. It was so creepy. It spoke horror to me, and I was basically hooked ever since.
That's awesome. So I'm going to make you pick a favorite Kiss album. Is it going to be that first one that, your first introduction, or is there another album in the catalog that is the one? If you're going out to a desert island, you were allowed to take one Kiss album, what would that one Kiss album be?
Well, as a kid, believe it or not, Andy, I'm sorry, the first 3 albums I did not like. I did not like it. I found it too heavy, too loud for me at that age, and it grew on me as I got older, and it became my favorites. Destroyer was my first album, but it wasn't my favorite. If I were to bring one album, the definitive album, Alive.
Yep, can't go wrong with that. Now, what flavor of Kool-Aid do you drink? Who's your favorite member of the originals?
Paul Stanley. Definitely
Yes.
Paul Stanley.
Yeah, another one. So always nice to hear love for Paul Stanley. Why?
Okay. I found Paul is the musician of the band. I'm not saying Ace, Peter, and Gene are not, but he in terms of musicianship, singing, his voice, he was, in my opinion, the best. I mean, come on, Phantom of the Opera, when he did that in 1999, that was just incredible. At the time I was married, and my wife at the time was a big fan of Phantom of the Opera, and she thought, Paul Stanley, he's from Kiss, he's going to ruin it. Yeah, she wasn't a Kiss fan. That's why I'm divorced. And she was blown away from it. So it just says something about Paul Stanley. He doesn't cater to just Kiss fans. His solo stuff is amazing. I'm looking forward to his Soul Train stuff as well.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Paul Stanley is the artist in the band, and he really does bring that kind of artistic value to the band.
Absolutely.
And its music, and a very important part. And as a front man, yeah, he was my favorite member. He's the guy who made me a fan of Kiss. It was kind of obviously mid-'80s for me, but just how he kind of presented himself and how he acted was just cool. He is cool.
Oh, yeah.
He is the breeze. Always has been.
The front man.
Still to this day, without compare. So you had fun at this first show, and how many other shows have you seen on the End of the Road tour so far?
This is my 9th. It's my 9th, and it's my 69th show in total. But it's people tell me, "Oh, you've seen the same show over and over again." True, and even last night, my last show, my 9th show rather, I wasn't fist in the air, let's go. I was just standing up, reflecting, just taking it all in, For me now, it's become more about meeting the fans, meeting old friends, new friends. The meetup that we did last night, that for me was the high. Meeting people who have seen the band, or going to see the band for the first time. I met a couple last night who thought it was Ace and Peter up there. And they were shocked. You still get that. And they were like, what? They were shocked. Never saw Kiss in concert. But they were blown away after the show. They just loved it. They just loved it. And they asked me on 10, what would you give the show? I said a 10. After 47 years, that they could do something that big, that bombastic, and sound so amazing. It's like, wow, it's mind-blowing. And I was enjoying the show through their eyes as well, because we're like, oh wow, oh my God, this is incredible. Oftentimes giving me handshakes. This is incredible. You were right. They were so excited. That's what was fun to see.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm going to say that I enjoy the most as well. Just kind of taking it all in, just watching now the little pieces. You're congregating in the electric church.
Absolutely.
You have brother and sisterhood with everyone who's there, whether it's someone who's out there at 69th show or 215th. I mean, I know people who've done hundreds of shows.
Oh, yeah.
Or whether it's that little kid next to you who's going to his first ever concert with his parents who have maybe gone to one or two Kiss shows in their life, but they're just doing it again for one last time while they have a chance to introduce a child. And you have grandparents now bringing grandchildren. I mean, that's the amazing part of it. And you can there's no one you can't have a conversation with, is the wonderful thing. Even I find the arena staff have stories about Kiss that if you get chatting with them, they're talking about shows that they've worked before, or how their grandson or son loves, the band, or daughter as well, So it really is. It's like a family reunion that happens multiple times a week in different cities. It's a traveling family reunion, and that's the most wonderful part of it. And especially for those who organize and are part of the pre-show meetups, it's part of the ritual. You go and you get ready. I mean, it's like the Detroit Rock City song. Instead of washing your dishes, you're getting in the car or getting on transit to go to have a meetup at the thing, and then you've got the jukebox going in the background. Hopefully, it's playing Kiss. So, from what Andy said last night, wasn't. But, and then you go to the show. So, I mean, life is like a Detroit Rock City, parallel. That's what I like about it.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about that at the meetup yesterday, that no other band has fans like Kiss fans. You walk down the street and you see a fan with a Kiss t-shirt. Hey, hi, how's it going? Never saw each other. Just because we're fans, that one thing in common, it's like we know each other already, And it's interesting because I find Kiss fans have so many other interests, same interests in music and bands and movies, the sci-fi stuff, the horror stuff. So the minute you meet somebody, there's topics of conversation galore.
Yeah, that's probably what's so awesome about Kiss fans is all those things that we do have in common. But then again, you also get some really off-the-wall people who just come out of left field and they're completely different. They're not into any of that, but they bring something into the conversation that is new and refreshing. So while we can all sit back and talk I can't because I hate comic books. But yeah, I'm one of them. But you always get something out of meeting a Kiss fan. Even if it's someone who's like Carnival of Souls, the greatest album ever, someone who's got a really contrary opinion. I find that the vast majority of fans, no matter what direction they are respectful to one another.
Oh, so true. So true.
In person. Once you got Kiss fans in person and away from keyboards and fake, identities and all that, people are really honest, really open. They can still be very firm and you're wrong. Your opinion is wrong. I always love that. And you can just settle it with a, hey, cheers, toast. We disagree. Yeah.
But unfortunately, you see that a lot with keyboard commandos, and you see a lot of fighting online. And I'm sorry, especially with with the Kiss Cruise crowd, there's a lot of fighting. It's like, but when they come together, it's like none of that mattered, none of that happened, And it's like families. They fight, boyfriend, girlfriends, relationships. We fight, But when we're together, that's all forgotten, and it's time to have a blast together. And I guess that's the beauty of it. That's the upside of it.
In any family, there's stress and drama. There's peace and war. It's yin and yang. It really, we're a family. We're dysfunctional. We're representative of the societies in which we live, and that's what makes it so wonderful. And you came down from Canada for this show, but I guess that's not that far to come, is it?
No, it's a good 5.5 hours. Okay. My thing is I give myself a 10-hour radius, so I go see Kiss within a 10-hour driving radius.
Ooh. You're brave.
Yeah, so I try doing it I do it on weekends, obviously. I don't want to take time off from work, but whenever I can, I definitely make the effort.
Yeah, my radius is 7 hours and 59 minutes, just to ensure that LA is 8 hours away. Therefore, LA's out of the question, so I don't go to LA. I fly. All right, let's put Andy back in. Let's one last question before we switch back to Andy.
Went downstairs. We'll be back in a second.
Are you going on the Kiss cruise this year?
No.
You're not?
No. I went 3 times, 1, 4, and 5. I'm a high school teacher, and I almost got fired after Kiss Cruise 1 because I went without asking permission. It's like, darn it, I'm going no matter what. Really? You think so? They were nice and they let me go, but they said, don't ever pull this nonsense again. And I ended up going on 4 and 5. I got permission to go this year. And I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. It wasn't in the cards. First, I see the price. I could handle it. Okay, it's high. I'll do it. Mm-hmm. And I had a bunkmate who had a first day booking. And I said, listen, I'm sorry, I cannot justify this price with what little they're giving us. They cut the indoor show. There's no interview. There's no autographs, no deep cut. No, I can't. Then I thought, no, I've got to go. And I found somebody else to go with, but there was a drink package. That's an extra $325 US. I'm paying 35% on top of what you're paying in US dollars. And I don't drink. So why am I paying all that money? Sorry, I can't do it. Then I found somebody else. Let's wait till my booking time. I'll go. It ended up being $1,800. So in Canadian funds, that's $3,000 just to get on the ship.
Right.
And that's not the pre-parties, the hotels, the flight, all the merch I'm going to buy there,
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it.
Well, you're alumni, so I always like to ask people about the cruise because your opinion counts. If let's say that the Stardust Theater is used this year for Soul Station or for Black and Blue reunion, would you be kicking yourself?
Oh my God, yes. Yes, and they're saying that they're planning something special. Yeah. I don't doubt it. Hey, when Bruce goes up there and plays with his band, that's something special. When Ace went up and played, wow, that was something special. But I couldn't go on those trips, so I was like, oh, it's okay. I couldn't make it anyway.
Yeah.
This time, yeah, I will kick myself for sure.
Yeah, but no doubt there'll be multiple people filming, and I think the fear of missing out is overrated. You got to do what's right for you, and
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that. You've got to do what's right for you, and
yes.
It is horrendously expensive when you add in all those extras that you do mention, and then you really don't get to see the band a lot unless you pay in or do an instrument. I'm going to do the instrument again this year with Paul Stanley because I love to torture him by making him write as many characters that are permitted on the guitar. I've already thought of this one, and you know what? The funniest part is this one. This year's inscription starts with Asylum lyrics, which is quite nice now that they've brought a certain song back into the set that I'm going to talk to Andy about. But I think the best part of it is to be able to give away a +1 for those events that, you just pick someone to go with you and then they get some band interaction during the cruise. So that's the fun I have. But I can't wait. I'm going to podcast my head off on the cruise and hopefully meet up with lots of fans from around the world who just want to come on camera and talk. I've got some topics set up, so it should be fun, regardless of the entertainment. And I don't care about Queensryche. I don't care about Rat. I'll probably go and see them because they're there and they're included. Yeah. And maybe I'll have my mind changed about Queensryche. Everyone knows Rat. But like Kiss in the later days, they're not what they were without Warren. But I'll go check them out. I'll go check out some of the other bands. This time, if this is the last cruise, I want to be there with my recording gear to get it from kind of my podcasting perspective. So should be fun.
Oh, you're going to have a blast talking to people around the world. So yeah, you're going to love it.
Yeah, I had a blast last time I went talking with fans around the world. I don't think if it was fit for broadcast, but it was certainly awesome conversations that are better left private. So
yeah. So I'll pass you back to Andy. Thank you so much for having me on.
Pasquale, really thank you very much. Good to meet you, and hopefully we'll get you on an episode of your own one day.
Anytime. Thank you.
Okay, take care.
What's up? You probably would rather keep him on than me on, right?
Hey, you know what? That is bonus added material. It's great.
I just asked him too if she wanted to jump on too. She's like, "Nah, I'm good today."
It's wonderful to meet someone new and to get some of their thoughts on Kiss and what Kiss are doing, and And
then I hear you guys are going off about the cruise, and you didn't invite me to your cruise podcast talk stuff.
Well, Mr. Andy. What more is there for you to say about the cruise? Actually, there's probably way too much for you to say about the cruise. So it's probably better. And again, I'm not going to do too many episodes before we go on the cruise. I'm going to do the episodes when I'm on the cruise.
I know, but you should do them before, too. Have some fun. What the hell? I only bust. And people say, oh, because you're not going. I haven't been busting on it too much, but...
Yeah, we'll see what else they announce.
For a personal guy, just quick on that, is that I did sign up just for the hell of it. We did sign up to see when we would be able to get on.
Mm-hmm.
And after being on 8 cruises, when we didn't go on the night. You get the boot once you don't get on. You're pushed back to the bottom of the pile of people. And I'm not saying then some people might rub it and say that wrong. Oh yeah, you think you're that, all that. Well, there should be some kind of seniority in a way. I know the seniority if you keep going, but if you don't go, you're back basically down. Anyways,
it should still stick.
Yeah, but by the time I would have been able to, we would have been able to sign on and get on. It would have cost us $4,000. They were up to like deck 10 or something, the insides. So that's it. And I was like $4,000 just to get on. Like I said, that's not including hotel. Me
Flights,
and my flights, and you know what would have happened if I went down to Miami, right? Go back on a cruise. You know what's going to happen. would have happened, right?
What's going to happen? You're going to get shouted at. That's what's going to happen.
Living in sin goes around and round again. I'm doing a Kiss thing now. The never ending. Oh, the never ending. No. So, anyways, no. I'm not. Let me put this. I'm not going on a cruise. Everybody, we're not going on the cruise. Okay. So there's no pre-party. I'm not doing anything for hotels. People keep asking me messages about the hotel. No, I'm not doing a hotel. Somebody else do it. Call them up. Get in touch with the salesperson.
If the other events don't get announced soon, I'll be staying at that Holiday Inn again. I'll go see.
It is, and I'll tell you right now, it's expensive. It's expensive without getting the rates. It's like $284 a night right now. I did look it up. It's crazy. And somebody complain about the $180 or $179, for the one night. So pick and choose. Besides, you have basketball games and everything else. You never know what's going on down there at this time. So, anyways, done with the cruise. Next.
Yeah. Well, next is let's get back to last night. So we've talked about the tap room and got a good overview from you and Pasquale about how much fun that was, even without any Kiss music being played. What number show was this for you?
Oh, I can't. I'm
on the end of the road, not overall.
Oh, thanks. You just put me on the spot. Now I feel bad. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah,
five. I haven't gone. I didn't go on his. Boston, New York. Oh no, me and Kim, we went to Long Island, then Connecticut. So it could be 6 or 7. I can't even. Oh, that's pretty bad. I'm usually up to date. My brain is
fine.
Oh, geez, I must be getting. My brain's getting mushy.
No.
Yeah. So 6 or 7, something like that.
Well, let's start at the beginning last night then of the show. And were you in the arena for David Lee Roth?
Yes, because Kim wanted to see David Lee Roth. I personally was like, because I watched the videos that everybody else has seen on, YouTube and from his thing in Vegas, where he looked like a train wreck.
Looked?
Or I say, when they say looked, actually he looked pretty good, for a guy who's 68 years old. He looked all right, but he sounded kind of really rough. But the backing band was, sounded fine. But now we move into big arena now. Now a month later, more practice, whatever it is. And actually, he wasn't bad. The band was loud, right, Pass? The band was absolutely loud. They were loud. I think they were kind of drowning him out a little bit. I don't know if it was on purpose. But he didn't sound bad. The band itself just kind of played. They laid back. They didn't really run around, do a show off. Most of the time they just kind of stayed in one place and played.
Right.
David basically just walked around the stage, waving to everybody, saying hi. There wasn't a lot of jumping around and kicking. He did a little bit at the end of when he did jump at the end. Twirled the the microphone stand there, the glow in the dark one he's got. But he just basically walked around, smiled, waved to everybody, and that's about it. I mean, he did a lot of old Van Halen songs. He didn't do "I'm Just a Gigolo."
No, but he did California Girl, Just Like Paradise. I'm trying to think of some of the solo stuff. He didn't do much solo stuff, which surprised me. I think it was like a 12-song set, so that's probably right in the amount. Well, obviously as an opening act. I take it there was no David Garibaldi painting before that?
No painter, and also that they actually let them use like a half the stage too. I thought maybe the Black Banner would be up and they'd be really pushed up tight near the edge of the stage, but they let them use like half the stage, and they had like a white background to kind of cover the Kiss stuff. But you could see the Kiss stuff like hanging in the pods in the front. So that's how you can tell how much stage they had, because you could see 3 or 4 of the pods like when you looked up. So
You've seen a lot of shows, so how did it feel that his use of the stage was in terms of its space? Did it feel like too much space for an opening act? Did it feel like, wow, they've given him a lot? And what about kind of backline? Did they have like a lot of amps, or was it very minimal in terms of kind of the equipment?
Yeah, very minimal. They had everything on, the things, the racks that can push them. Everything on wheels, basically. Move, let's go. But there was like no warning, right? He just like came on. Absolutely no warning. Just like, hey, bang, here we go. Nothing like, oh my God, it's David Lee Roth, blah, blah, blah. Nothing, just walked on. They just walked on stage. He walked on stage and they kind of started. It wasn't really, it was like really quick. And then they, 12 set. So they were done about 8 o'clock. And then of course they start pushing everything, this and that, and then they dropped the Kiss curtain, and then they got ready, and then by like 8:45, bingo, here comes, the big boys. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like again, I don't know. You're talking about David, but not really talking about David because it's hard to talk about David because they didn't really have anything. It was just the band playing, they're standing there, played. He talked a little bit. About I don't know what they started playing some kind of blues thing, came out, started talking, and he said, stop, let's just go to the next song. And then they started a song. It was a little bit weird thing. I don't know what that was about, but again, the band sounded crisp. They were on target. There's no doubt about that. And there were, people should check them out. And there were a lot of people that are checking them out. Of course, they want to check them out anyways. You know what I'm saying? So the crowd reaction was really good. And really, he's kind of like Paul and whatever. He doesn't have the, that voice anymore, Right, it is what it is. But I don't think, in reality, people don't give a shit. They hear the song. You know what I mean? Once that starts hitting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, musically, it's being performed well. Vocally, maybe not so much, but you've got the original guy up there squawking about the song and maybe adding a few ad libs here and there. And David Lee Roth, I've always found horrendously entertaining. I mean, he's just fun to watch because he's weird. Did he have any props with him last night? Did he?
It was all he had his jackets on and he looked like he had Joker pants on, like black and red diamonds, and make it look like the pants were diamonds. I mean, he changed. He put on a different coat, but then he had the suit coat on. I mean, he changed his coat a couple of times, but then he had a microphone and he walked around and had the strapping thing, like if you saw it in Vegas, whatever was hanging from it. And he had a scarf hanging from it, walking around. But I mean, he walked around the stage. I mean, they let him use the front up, the pods to go up. Mm-hmm. There in the corners and stuff, whatever. He actually walked over, waving at everybody, saying hi, and smiling. I mean, he had a grin to grin, smile to smile. So I mean, he just kind of walked around, but he didn't. Like I said, they weren't running around the stage, and they had plenty of room to run if they, somebody wanted to run around the stage and stuff. Okay. So he just kind of strolled around and stuff like that. It just didn't. So that's all I can say. That's all because that's all it was. I mean, I put up a video of the first song. The video we did, I mean, my video didn't come out too good. I think the Verizon, whatever they tried to, the connection or something like that, trying to, drown it out a little bit or something. I don't know. So if it sounds really, my personal go live video sounds lousy, worse, it's because of that. It wasn't really them. So, but otherwise, I said it was good. People are going to go see it. It's, it's well worth seeing. At least you get more, it's a rock thing for your money. You know what I'm saying too? Yep. I mean, no offense to the painter, man. I'm going to a rock show. I don't want to see a painter. If I want to go see art and paint, I'll go to an art and paint show. I'll go see Paul Stanley and the painter together. You know what I mean? You do their thing, or something like that. But for a rock show, they should give you a band, and they picked David, so David got the drill. It's too bad. Me personally would have liked to seen some other bands play. Something else. But it is what it is. I don't have nothing against David, but I would have liked to seen another band who has a big production, kind of, you know what I'm saying? A bigger production, do a half thing. My you know who I would wanted to open up, but
Aerosmith?
It was no. Yeah, right.
Yeah. I could resist. What? Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, you going to Fenway Park to see him there, mister? Now you just rubbed it into me?
No? I'm not going
I thought you were a big Aerosmith fan, so you're not going to go? I love all these fans saying they're huge Aerosmith fans. Well, you go on the 50th, the one show they go on the 50th at Fenway Park, which is probably one of the lousiest places to see a band because then that
you're not helping selling the event, Andy. By you're not helping. No, let me tell you what a big Aerosmith fan I am. I am a massive Aerosmith fan of the band before 1985.
Okay.
After that, I don't ever want to hear Janie's Got a Gun again. I don't ever want to hear Dude Looks Like a Lady again. I don't ever want to hear 9 Lives again. I just want to play rocks and Get Your Wings, and then I'm a happy guy. Good 70s rock and roll.
Well, you can blame Run DMC for bringing them back to life. Yeah. Right? End of story. I don't care what anybody says. You can deny it all you want. Aerosmith just didn't come out of the blue. It was all Run DMC, did that Walk This Way thing, and that brought Aerosmith back to life. Yeah. Period. The end. Next.
So next, before we talk about
podcast now,
before we talk about the Kiss part of the show, I want to talk merchandise as well. And was there any new merchandise that stood out for you? Obviously, the prices make my hairs on the back of my neck stand up on edge, but there was some pretty cool stuff. I know Tommy's got his miniature blue guitar now available for purchase. Drum heads, I saw a big drum heads.
They had a drum heads. Eric signed them and in a set list, and for like $350. Wait, what? Really? Crazy, but
I like that little $50 one, the black End of the Road logo on it with it's like a commemorative one, not a played or playable one. $50, that's a great value. I'm having myself one of those.
My buddy got. He said he did. He bought it. I don't know why, because he usually doesn't buy stuff like that. But he did buy a small Tommy one, I guess, for like $60.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it. He didn't open it. He's just like, hey, look what I got. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They had a poster there. I didn't get the poster. I guess I had all the new dates on. I wish when I like I said on my own thing, I just took pictures fast. Like I'm standing behind a crowd going, trying to take pictures as close to, what I mean? Because I want to get up front and they're like, what do you want? Well, I want to take some pictures first, like, come on, move on, But now I had heard there was a new tour book, well, say kind of new. It's supposed to be new cover.
Mm-hmm.
And its pages changed inside. Some of the live shots were changed inside. So, it must be, the end of the road change. So, anyways, I grabbed the tour book last night. They're $40 here. So, I don't know whether there'll be more at different places. But I kind of posted a little video on my page. It's fast. But that's the new cover. Because I think the other cover was it's only like half or something. I don't remember. I'm losing it.
Hold on.
So, and again, I understand there's pages inside that are different. So, oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, I'd put it away and.
Yeah, so let's see yours again. This is one from the first.
Actually, I have to admit,
there you go.
I'm no offense. This one's better.
Okay, so flip that one around.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it is changed.
I do have to admit, I like this one. Oh.
Yeah, it's using the back cover image because on the one they did last year. Okay, so there we go. It is.
Yeah, it's a little different, but
they've basically flipped it around and are using the back cover as the front cover and back cover now.
Yeah, something like that. But the color's a little bit different on the front and back. Like it's hard to see in the photo, but like the coloring, like the sparkly, it's redder on the back side than on the front side.
Still looks good. It's a great It's a great image. Makes a great cover, and I'm sure there's a few photos that have been changed around in there, but we're not going to dig into those on a show and try and figure out which picture on page 93 is different than in version.
Somebody will. I know somebody will. But so if you're into the tour books, so if you're into tour books, there is a different change in the tour book. So there you go. And again, if they were $40, so and they had the specialty shirt. It says Manchester's like $50. Stuff like that.
Wonder if those are left over from England.
I don't know. Oh yeah, you might say New Hampshire. Let me see what else. What else do they have? I'm gonna look at my pictures here quick. I am so not prepared today. This is just brutal.
It's early. Don't worry about it. We're a casual podcast. I'm just looking through some of the merch pictures that folks have posted on the FAQ.
A $50 shirt. Oh, a poster was $30. Because now I'm looking at signed drumhead L125 that's see-through, that's white. Drumhead sign.
Yeah, it looks like they still have black drumsticks from Eric, which I'm sorry, right next to that drumhead. That's just, I love that End of the Road one. Definitely get one. Autographed Tommy photos, those look great with the blue Epiphone. $30. That's great value. I mean, come on, guys, people who complain about prices, there's some good value stuff for sale.
There's a tie-dye shirt, $60. Yeah, there's another shirt that says $50. And then another end of the road thing, it's another $50. I mean, yeah, the shirts are basically $50.
And then the jean jacket for $225.
Oh yeah,
for a chubby.
Yeah, I don't know, that thing's and that yeah, whatever that jacket's at the end, man. That's ugly. I'm sorry, that's really. Oh no, there's a jacket for $225.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But
that's ugly. I'm sorry.
There's one,
and then there's like a space, kind of almost like a spacey shirt.
The blue.
Yeah, I think that's probably, for me, I think that's probably I don't know, is that a sweatshirt then? Because it says right, yeah, $85. I think that's a sweatshirt. That's probably the best, me personally, I think that's the best picture.
Nice.
Probably best image of all the stuff. I don't like the images.
I like the $75 t-shirt number 3, which is kind of like a wings.
Oh, yeah, the wings one is, yes, 75. Oh, you know why? It's like the baseball quarter jersey.
Yeah, that's what it is. Baseball one.
Yeah, see, that's kind of hard to see on the phone, I know, but
it looks great, actually. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's probably the second one. I'm sorry, I just don't like that stuff. I don't like the.
Number 4 is ugly as hell. It's like, off the Photoshop filters, please.
Yeah, it's a long sleeve shirt, so it's $75. But I'm like, holy shit! So some of the prices. Now, here's the thing I thought was interesting. If you look on Kiss Online. Let me see. I'll do this because I want to read it exactly, because me and Paps were talking about this the other night when he came over, and we're up till.
While you read that, I'm just going to pour a cup of tea. I can hear you. I'm just off camera for a sec.
Let me see. I want to go on Kiss Online because I want to read this to everybody. Because somebody said something, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll read it now. All right. Before, when you go on Kiss Online, everybody, it says, you wanted to get best, you got the best. It says the final Kiss concert on the end of the road tour. So it says it in parentheses. You hear me, Julian?
Mm-hmm.
Now it says in parentheses, concert, the final Kiss concert on the end of the road tour. So what does that tell you? If you read in between the lines, so that tells you they're not going to end. It's just the last show of the end of the road tour, right? When you kind of read that way, it doesn't say final anymore. So I think somebody rewrote something, but
I think they probably got to have a get out of jail one in case they ever do a show or a little like residency after the fact. But I think at their age, when you look at Gene in particular and some of the health issues that affected them, that the end of the road really does mean the end of the road, but it doesn't mean the end of the world. And in terms of Kiss World, I think it means that they're not going to be going out on any of these 10, 15, 20 date tours any longer, because it's just simply too arduous for them. And, the body, the spirit is willing, but the body is not. So I think
in parentheses, though, it says the end of this tour doesn't mean that they can't do another one or won't do another one, but then last night
after Motley Crue, I mean, come on, no one I think ever wants to just say definitively, that it is over. What if someone offers them, a healthy amount of money to do another Vegas residency, or what about another like little hit and run tour of New England, 5 dates over 2 weeks, something like that. It's not really a world tour or something massive. So I would have, and again, everyone's going to have their own take on it of what the end of the road should mean. I think it should be as interpreted in Kiss speak as the farewell tour, that they may change their mind. Well, we were just saying farewell to this particular road. We've got a new road. My car wash guy.
The car wash guy thing. Now, last night, they have the things in the corner up on those things, and it shows up. Now, all of a sudden I turn around and then all of a sudden I see this up on the stage. Now, this sign says the final tour ever. So then we've gone from, in parentheses, the final tour of the end of the road tour. Didn't say final on their main page. Doesn't say final tour ever. But now on this screen last night, in one of the corners, it says the final tour ever. But again, they could do one-offs. I think they can do one-offs. I think they will. I think they'll do like festivals. So those festivals are overseas. Somebody is going to give them some money. they'll do it. I think they will. And they could do cruises. They could do cruises two a year, make a ton more money if they really wanted to. Or you never say, like you said, health issues. Who knows? Who knows what's behind the scenes?
And maybe I just don't worry about the semantics of it anymore. Like when I was talking to Pasquale a few moments ago, I go there and I just enjoy being part of the congregation. We're there celebrating music that's been a part of our lives for so many years. Every song means something different to every person there. Except for maybe Say Yeah, which half of them don't know. It really is. I just take out of it what I take out of it. I don't worry about what Kiss may decide down the road. They're the band. I'm the fan. I'm always going to be a Kiss fan. Nothing.
Yeah, I guess put your wallet where put your wallet where you want to put your wallet, right?
Yeah,
your money where
you are.
Don't want to go,
control.
don't go. I guess that's basically what it comes down to.
Gene Simmons does not have a collection of voodoo dolls that he takes one out and says, "Julian, give me your." Well, he probably does, but for everyone else, he's probably not sitting there saying, They want people to give them their money willingly, because they probably don't want to hear Kiss fans whining and bitching about every little thing that they do. But going down the road,
we all do.
We all change our minds. We all change our minds about things that we've done in life. Why is a band any different? I mean, we all see the struggles that we kind of perceive the band to be having at this stage of their career. So maybe it is the end of the road. Maybe it's not. Maybe something else comes. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just be happy enough to still be vertical with a pulse to be there to bitch about it.
That's true, I guess, in that ways, yeah. Because that's true. You need that reality check, because there's some people that are not around anymore that wish they could have, wish they could be here. You know what I'm saying? Friends have passed away and stuff like that. That wish, we're bitching about little stupid things about picks and voices and stuff like that. And then there are people that have passed away that, they wish they could have been there last night. So
there are people who have died who would have killed to have gone to a Kiss show last night.
Yeah. And it's kind of, so you need that reality check. So anyways, I don't want to get down on that. That's pretty.
Should we talk about the show?
Yeah, because somebody I know passed away, and she definitely would have been there last night with us. So yeah, it's kind of rough. Yeah. So anyways, I tried to get Kim to come up and talk about David Lee Roth too, just because she really wanted to see him, and she enjoyed it, and like a lot of fans, they enjoyed it. And it wasn't sold out, but it wasn't like huge sections of missing people. There was a good amount of crowd there. I would say 95 to 97% full. Right. Like I said, it wasn't 100% full, but it wasn't short. And people were like, "Oh my god!" It's funny. You get the circle counters, the dot counters. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The thing I have to say though, man, and I can't understand other people doing the same thing, is how are the tickets? How can you release tickets in the sections when they release them? Buy them. Sections are totally gone, and then 2 weeks before, all rows show up in those sections. What the hell? They put everybody in a panic mode. Gotta get it. You get the codes. You get the codes. From the Kiss Cruise or whatever, or all these codes, and I gotta get tickets, and then all of a sudden rows pop up, even better than you got, and sometimes even cheaper than what you got. It's just.
How do you create demand without the demand being? Of course, it's a racket. If you put it on sale, and again, I have no knowledge. I've never worked in the industry.
And I'm
just going by what I think. I'm positing a possible kind of theory that when you put it on sale, you have some lights go on, some off, and then you see how things are saying. You have to build demand of like, I've got to buy tickets. You have to get people to part with that money, especially when you're months out. When did these go on sale? Back when the cruise, right? Sometime around then, some November.
Yeah, early. I think it was maybe early November. It's after the cruise. I think a couple weeks after.
You've got to get people who have bills to pay to part with several $100s to go and see a concert. So how do you motivate them to part with that money, which they could be using to do their food shopping, pay a bill, an unexpected car repair? You got to
actually. I think they released the tickets right before Christmas too. I think it was the week of Christmas somewhere. I mean, it was right near the Christmas time, but yeah, you're right too in that. But it just makes me just very frustrating, and I don't blame the band.
It's sleazy, it's slimy, it's business.
It's the people behind. I don't think it's. I mean, you might see the official platinum or whatever ones, those are different. I understand that, but when you see the dots, people dot counters or the blue dots and stuff, and you see a ticket and you see rows that are like in front of you or behind you or around you that like go on sale like a week or two before the show, it's like crazy, and they're either cheaper or sometimes they can get more expensive. It's like a demand thing, I guess. But still, how do they get away with this? I don't know. It's just so weird. I don't know how they can get away with that kind of shit. I mean, I understand if a show doesn't sell, they're going to end up dropping ticket prices. That happens, but, they should, I don't know. I guess that's another whole story. Yeah, it's a racket. We'll never figure that out. It's all about
on this first one, I'm going to be interested to see what the actual reported attendance was, because it never seems to marry up with people's eyeball accounts. I think this venue last night had a maximum capacity of 11,000, so you will have lost a couple thousand seats because of staging and stage arrangement, and maybe more.
Is that like 11,770 or something like that?
Yeah,
it's a little bit. I think Mohegan Sun. If anybody who's ever been to Mohegan Sun in Connecticut, Mohegan Sun is like 10,000. So it's a little bit bigger than that, but it's still a small. People say a B arena, small arena.
Mm-hmm. It's B markets that they're doing now. So I'm going to figure around 8,500 to 9,000 on the tickets put on sale last night. There were a lot of empty seats still available on day of show, so I'm hoping there was a strong workup. Again, I'm coming from a perspective that I'm hoping it was good for KISS.
Yeah, but a lot of people like watching. We're out the bar. People watching. Wow, look at this! $1,000 front row, 500 second row. They're still open. But the box office in Manchester didn't even open up till like a couple hours before the show, which is weird. It wasn't like open all day, which I don't understand. So, anyways, like at 6:00, bang! All of a sudden, all the front row was totally gone.
Good.
But I think what happened. Now we were trying to guess. I was guessing who just paid $1,000 almost all the way across the thing. Maybe some people did. I don't know, but I have a strange suspicion like they take those tickets off, and then some random person just walks up and says, "Hey, I'm looking for a ticket tonight. Oh, you want the front row for $150?" Because I don't think they want to say front row is $150 now up online on Ticketmaster, because people like flip it. People flip out,
yeah,
or something like that. I don't know. It's just a guess, but anyways, whatever. It just kind of, I don't know. It just kind of. Because I watch. I think that's one of the things I do. I watch the ticket things at times just to see, just for the hell of it. I don't go up all the time. Oh my God, it's not selling. It's not selling. Sometimes I do. Some shows are, not selling as good as others. There are other shows that are like sold pretty good already, and there's other ones that are not right now. But it is what it is. So, whatever. We'll see. But by the time the show comes up, they're pretty much almost full. And you gotta give them credit too, man. It's two guys. No offense. Whatever you can say. People are not. For the most part, people are not going, oh, my God, I want to go see Tommy and Eric Singer. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not buying a ticket for Tommy and Eric Singer. Maybe some are, a couple percent. But the most percentage people are going to see, who are they going to go see? I'm going to go see, KISS, a.k.a. Gene and Paul, right?
Yep.
And two guys. You got to give them huge props, man. If they can fill arena, it's 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20,000, arena. Two guys can still do that. 40-something years, man. You got to give them huge props, right? Huge props for doing it.
Absolutely. I would hope that KISS fans, regardless of whether they're going to the tour or whether they, tapped out years ago for various reasons, I would hope that all KISS fans can at least still be positive and say, wow, my band is still doing it. For the warts and all, for any of the criticisms, put those to the side. Can you be proud that your band is still doing it 47 years in and making those, or many of those who go, happy? Can they just be happy for that?
Yeah, and think about it, man. It's you have David Lee Roth from one of the biggest bands in the world at one point is now, it's only David doing this stuff, but he's opening up for KISS. You know what I mean? How huge was Van Halen at one point?
Mm-hmm. Come on,
humongous, right?
Absolutely.
They were humongous in the '80s. They were like huge in the '80s. I know David, what was it, Jump made them pretty huge, and then Sammy Hagar actually put Van Halen over the top because he actually made them more radio friendly. So, anyways,
he ruined them.
Well, people have their decisions on it.
Yeah, and I left after OU812, which is absolutely fantastic to this day. One of my favorite albums, regardless of what you call the band or the players on it.
Oh, yeah, Gary Sharon too, playing with them too that one time, right? So Gary Sharon did their one album too. So
VH3.
Yeah.
But getting back to Kiss,
it's okay. Well, it has something to do with it's David Lee Roth opening for Kiss, whatever. So I mean, it's kind of in the same kind of category of the whole thing. So, anyways, David was fine. If you can go see him or you don't want to go see him, then no. If you do, do. But the majority of people saw him last night and they loved it. People are cheering and dancing, and that's what it's supposed to be about, right?
Yep.
So people complain about the painter, I'm telling you, painter. It's kind of boring. Well, guess what? Now you have David Lee Roth, and you actually have some rock music to listen to, and it's loud. I'm telling you right now, he was loud. They were loud. So the ears were ringing from him, from that band. They were ringing.
Good.
So everybody will say that. So the boys come on. So what do you want to know? Where you want to go with this?
Yeah, we don't need to go song by song on this because, this episode, I guess, is more about, just overall impressions of how things have changed. Tommy had teased that there were going to be some set list changes. There was going to be a shake-up to the set list. So I just want to get your perspective of that. Ultimately, there were 2 songs changed last night. They added in Parasite and Tears Are Falling. In place of Do
You Love Me?
And Let Me Go Rock and Roll, I believe.
Yeah, Let Me Go Rock and Roll's gone.
So, and Crazy Nights came back as well. It had been off, at least for Japan. So, Parasite, Tears Are Falling. What does Andy Moyen say? Is that a shake-up to the set list, and what were your thoughts of those songs? And did you have any expectations of perhaps it being other songs that might have been coming into the set?
I had no expectations. I didn't really think they were going to change like a whole lot. They're not going to break the system, right? They're not going to break the system, and people want to hear the hits. That's what it comes down to. But granted, Parasite is really not a Kiss, aka hit, as in, more people hear it on the radio or anything. But I love Parasite. Let It Go. Not Let It Go. I mean, awesome. Thank you. You know what I mean? That's one of those songs, man. People are like, oh, Kiss can't play heavier metal. Oh yeah, there you go, boys. And and a lot of other bands have copied Parasite, as a tribute. So Parasite, awesome. But taking out Let Me Go Rock and Roll, bummer. You know what I mean? It's like you put in Parasite for it, and then you took out Let Me Go Rock and Roll. So I was kind of bummed about that. And so wasn't Kim. That's Kim's favorite song is Let Me Go Rock and Roll.
Oh.
Yeah. And Let Me Go Rock and Roll has got that whole thing where they all kind of jam. It's a longer song, and they kind of jam. It's just like lick it up, lick it up, lick it up, something like that. Repeat the same common words. Let Me Go Rock and Roll kind of gets its, you know what I mean? It's got that whole thing about it. So, Tears Are Falling.
Well, hold on, because Let Me Go Rock and Roll, I'm going to miss because I love that high energy, where they let loose. And you mentioned the jam section. I was absolutely flabbergasted that Parasite came into the set. When I was looking at songs and thinking about, what would they shake up the set list? This being Kiss, and they're not going to change a whole lot because this show is so heavily choreographed, it would have been a nightmare to completely redo it. I mean, forget it, not going to happen. Yeah. But Parasite, I would never have guessed. I thought Shock Me was a possibility because obviously they did that on the cruise in 2018. And Tommy doesn't sing a song. I thought some of the stuff that they did on the cruise this past year on Kiss Cruise 9, the first 5 songs, the last 3 of which were Strutter, Watching You, and Got to Choose. I was sure 1 or 2 of those were going to be the ones that came in because they'd done them recently. They kind of telegraphed. And I loved being completely wrong on both picks. So didn't see Parasite coming in, completely out of left field for me. And then Tears Are Falling. I totally didn't see that one coming in either. So, now tell us about Tears Are Falling because that one, which one did that replace? I can't remember. That came in the set right after Heaven's on Fire.
Yeah,
so they moved that up the sets, so you get a 1984, 1985 blast in a row at the top of the set. Yeah,
that's what I thought was more interesting in that way. I'm like, wow, they're doing 2 80 songs like that, in a row. You know what I mean? I thought maybe now they had to do is lick it up in there, hit a 3 right in a row.
Yep, and then throw in Give Me More and Not for the Innocent, and off they go.
Oh, Not for the Innocent would be really cool, man. Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't expecting Parasite though. It was awesome. It's funny looking at the crowd. Some of the younger people. There's not a ton of younger, but some of the younger. So you look around. Some of the people are like, yeah, I know this song, cool, really cool, or I don't get it. It is what it is. It's going to be the same thing. But again, as Paul says, man, people want to hear the hits. When they start playing Heaven's on Fire, people start dancing. People start moving. You play Lick It Up, man. People are like, oh my God, I'm so sick of Lick It Up. But as soon as they play Lick It Up, more people start dancing and you know what I mean? They do it. And of course, like I Was Made for Loving You, same thing. Play I Was Made for Loving You, and you see people who you would never think would move, or all of a sudden up off their seat or whatever they're doing and dance around. So, you know what I mean? So,
yep.
And we're all, there's so many of us Kiss fans for 40 something years, we all have our special, I wish this song, that song, special songs, but, they're going to stick to most of the basics. And, like you said, they'll throw in Parasite, they'll throw for kind of more of a diehard, I'd say diehard. Everybody's like, oh, what's a diehard? Anyways, you know what I mean? People that, more hardcore, want to hear more hardcore stuff. So
yeah, I'm just, really kind of blown away. Psycho Circus is still in there, and then you go into the grungy Parasite. I mean, that's really where your Sabbathy fans start, just
you can see the head start bobbing, and you go, oh, yeah. Like I said, too, it's been covered by other bands, so other people see it, and, like, I've heard it from other bands, even if they, like, they, it's a Kiss song, and it was covered by, like, Anthrax or something. You see people in the crowd go, oh, yeah, you know what I mean?
So I'm not expecting there to have been a tremendous amount of kind of changes to the show. That's the set. I mean, that's really it. Crazy Nights, had you seen that before in concert during the End of the Road tour, or was that your first time with that one?
That was the first time. I don't remember it being here on that first leg of it. No. So that was the first time at Crazy Nights, and of course, the people knew it. The people knew it, and of course they dropped the balloons. So now you have the, Crazy Nights playing, and they drop the balloons, and everybody's going cuckoo, hitting the balloons or try to catch them or, push them around or whatever. You know what I mean? So people are just, so I still, man, it just, I don't know if because we get older, we get more picky, we look at stuff more when you're younger, you just don't, you don't really give a shit about more of the technical stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's just so weird, because we were off the floor, 7 rows off the floor on the side, not the closest section, but not that close one, but the next one over. So you're coming, from those different angles and stuff. Just so weird looking at the crowd on the floor and just looking at the crowds now, even we're not kids anymore. So people are like kind of standing there like watching, or we got the phones up doing stuff. You know what I mean? It's not that, just put your head down and here we go. It's not that anymore. Yep. Barely. You don't see that too many times. It's not here and there, but the crowd's really, and I hate, and I don't like, I think that band's missing that interaction for closer, because you see how far they pushed back now?
Well, I mean, imagine how it feels to be a band today where you've just got this, that's your audience. It's just sitting there, or you've got the idiots with the iPads, the full ones, and or else you've got the little ones, doing selfies throughout the show.
We're all guilty of it. I've done it. Like going, I said, I didn't ever do that.
I have never done a selfie. I have not done a selfie. I'm really reticent.
Tried it. It doesn't really work too good, depending on where you are. But we're all guilty, videotaping. I've done some videos, done some go lives. I say, I'll never do this stuff. And I end up doing it. I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. You know what I mean? But I can't tell, even like Pasquale, when we were talking about it, they said they were going to make some changes to the stage, but it's so hard to tell what did they change unless it's drastic.
Yeah.
They might have changed some lights left to right or extra this. I mean, I even noticed they had 2 disco balls in the back. Did they have 2 disco balls in the first half of the tour? I don't remember.
I don't remember because, on the 5 or 4 shows I saw last year, I noticed something different at every single show. So, because you're just looking at different things, at different elements. I'm not sitting there with a notebook that there's 1 disco, 2 disco balls. Let's count the pods. There were 11 last night. That much I know. Thanks,
Andrew. There were 11. And how many technically were there more? 12? 13? Like in the bigger arenas?
Yeah, there were more at the beginning, but again, these are smaller venues. So what did it feel like, though? In terms of pyro and concussive explosions, did it still feel similar to the shows that you saw last year, or did it feel downscaled in any way?
Well, I have to say though, for a small arena, or they call it B arena, small arena, that they still did a lot of fireworks and a lot of pyro and a lot of stuff. So it was really cool. So in that perspective, they did a lot of stuff. The confetti's still out. The streamers and all that stuff. Like I said, the balloons and there was a lot of fire. And of course, when it's a small arena, you're gonna feel it, faster and quicker. But I have to say something, and other people said on the other side the same thing. That arena has some kind of fans, like not us fans, but fans or something that they turned on last night in the upper area. And all you could hear when when the band stopped or something, all night long. Terrible. Everybody could turn around going, what the hell is that? All night long. And they were loud. So actually, when Paul would start talking, we almost couldn't hear him.
Wow.
That's how loud. So, and Pasquale was on the other side, because we were on the Gene side, and he was on the Tommy side. And we said, hey, man, did you hear that noise? That all night long? He goes, yeah. So they had it on the other side, too. So I don't know if they were like, fans to take out, the heat or the smoke and all that other stuff out of the arena. But it's all night long. It's like, after Detroit Rock City, all night long. Terrible. It's like, so the band's playing it, and you can hear it. I mean, oh my God. And I have to say, the band wasn't loud. I don't know what happened. They sounded good, but it wasn't loud like you usually hear loud. Does that make any sense?
No, I mean, Kiss is supposed to be 127 decibel, 747 landing in between your ears. They've historically always been very loud. I mean, to the point where I've always worn earplugs because I'm a pussy.
Well, then either I'm losing my hearing or David Lee Roth's band went over the 120-something decibels then.
No, I don't think anyone goes anywhere near that these days. But I mean, back in the day, there were always accusations of these bands being super loud. I mean, I did take out my earplugs in LA, and it wasn't as loud as I thought it was going to be. So, maybe, well, that was California, so God knows what environmental rules they have to obey. But maybe it's just not as loud as it used to be. But I think if a facility's running, probably air of some sort.
Ear ducts or something, take out the smoke from the stuff.
Take out the smoke and keep it from getting too hot in there and condensing.
It was hot in there.
Yeah, all those sorts of things that affect cold weather climates, and there's a lot more that I'm not even knowledgeable about, so it's all guessing here. But to have anything like that making a racket during a concert is very unfortunate, because that would drive me nuts. It would distract me.
It was distracting all night long. I'm serious. That's all you hear is the. I mean, all night long, you just want to wham, smack some. It's like because the band's trying to play, and the band don't know. You can't hear that stuff. But the audience, I mean, telling you, everybody's like kept going like. And then they when Paul was trying to say something, everybody's like, I can't hear him. And it's not Paul's fault. It's that humming sound from the thing. But they did a lot of pyro. Again, it's very hard to tell if they made the changes unless you just sit there with a videotape, from one show to another and just start scrutinizing every little detail.
Get a life. No one. And that's why I'm asking you, because it's about perception, so that people know when they go to one of these shows, what's a fan, Andy said, well, it felt like the Kiss show, and you're not noticing discernible things, because I think it's more the things that do stand out. You're like, holy shit, they've changed that. Because I had that, at the beginning of the tour when they changed some of the explosions, concussions, they moved around. That was very obvious where they changed that stuff. Or when you have the whistling rocket at the intro or not, depending on venue and fire marshals, not always done. Paul, I take it, had the mini stage last night for flying, right?
Yep. Had the mini stage, goes out, got the two microphones, doesn't spin, just, goes straight up. these things, not doing that spin.
Did they use the screaming whistle or rocket at the beginning of the show, or that you remember? And again, I didn't notice that.
I didn't think so.
In Vancouver, I didn't even know what that was for a few days until afterwards, when video surfaced of you could actually seeing it going down the truss. That
down a truss. No,
because I was on the floor looking, ahead, not looking up. So I had completely missed that, and it was really cool then to see that they had done that. Let's see what else. Cherry pickers, the levitating arms that come out over the audience. Were those similar to what they had been previously?
Exactly the same. And with a small arena, man, it's kind of cool for those people. I mean, up on that upper level, man, Gene's like right there. You know what I mean? And Tommy's like right there. I mean, pretty close. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yep. They had I mean, it had 11 pods in. I thought it was only going to be maybe like 6. But 11 pods.
11's good for a smaller venue. So
yeah, but I can see some of the other venues that will not be able to have them. If they're playing Bangor, Maine.
Yeah.
On
what's
September,
that? Old 6,000, 5,000, if that.
The stage is like really square. It's tall, but I can't see them. I can't see them doing the whole thing. The things on the sides. Yeah, I think it'd be that Bangor, Maine show is going to be very tough to be able to do that.
I don't think it will be tough. I think one of the great hallmarks of this stage and the design is that it's highly scalable. They can lug it around and use exactly the right amount of stage and show for the venue so that they aren't limited. Oh, we can't play banger, because they'll just use a few less pods and the computers handle the rest of it, in terms of lighting and everything else. There's just a little bit more neon tape, like, Paul, don't step over there. Gene.
It'd be interesting for those the arm things would be interesting for like Bangor, Maine. It would be interesting.
Well, they haven't used those at every venue either, so they do. They haven't been. Huh? No, they do get rid of those when they simply can't be flown or installed properly, and so that's no big deal. What the main attraction is that video screen that you're looking at, and the fire. It's everything in front of you, basically. Everything else can be rearranged, and you're still getting the KISS show. And for people who've not been to multiple shows, you know what? Ignorance is bliss. They don't know what they're missing, and they may see something on like one of these Madison Square Garden videos, but that they'll be able to tell in terms of scale that's massive. Now, one of the other things that was mentioned on the FAQ about last night's show was obviously they came down on the pods at the start of the show, similar, but now there's someone to assist Gene coming off his pod, is what they mentioned, that there was someone on stage to help him last night as he stepped off. What do you recall of that, if anything at all?
I think even on he had a little bit of help too, even on getting on. I don't know if he was getting on the lift, the arm lift, or off when the arm lift get down, and then he, that thing, and then down. I think he had help again.
Good.
At times, so I don't know if there's something going on, or he just, the boots or something. Maybe come on, man, they haven't done it now in how long? It's been how many months?
Yeah, and he definitely had problems with his feet last tour, because they showed, obviously, the redesign of his boots for the arches and better support and whatnot. So maybe, come on.
I noticed
he's pushing 70.
Yeah. We noticed too, is that, you do the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the guy's there, but he's usually in the back area. It's kind of hidden in a way.
Yeah, and then runs out and grabs the block and does the blanket over it.
Yeah, but the thing is like usually they have the guy hidden, and Gene usually walks, puts the whatever and this stuff in his mouth and grabs a thing, and then turns around and then starts walking back out on the stage. Usually the guy's hidden. Like last night, the guy wasn't really hidden. The guy came out like almost halfway out on the stage, wide open, torch in hand. Here's the stuff. Here you go, Gene. You standing on the stage going boom, boom, and everybody can see him do it. And then come out and then do it. Then the regular stuff. They used to, that's like, I know it's petty, but that's the stuff they used to hide. It used to be, that mystique hiding. Oh my God, Gene Simmons gonna blow fire. How the hell did he get that? You know what I mean? So,
I don't think that's actually new, because I remember, clearly seeing the guy. I think it's just more a result of how the stage is designed, that there aren't really any of these areas that you can kind of like stash a guy. Yeah, it's not as easy. I think that's just a result of the...
Maybe it's the way with our seats were, too, because on the side you're looking, you get kind of that side look. More, not totally side, but you can see a different perspective. I mean, we saw friends of ours were farther back. Some friends were a little bit further back in their pictures, and you look like they look, some of their pictures, they look like they're in, Madison Square Garden or the Boston Garden. The fireworks and stuff going off, the spinners, and it looks like almost like when everything's going off, and almost, I'm not going to say, I don't want to say 70s look, but I mean, it's got that, it looks massive. It looks like they're in a huge arena when everything's going off, but when you're kind of close, you're like, you see things that you don't get that full view. That's the thing I think about this. That's the thing I think about this tour is that you actually can if you actually stand back or sit back more, you get the full thing. You get to see the full what's going on. Because when you're up close,
the cheap seats are the winners for once, because you're actually unless you've got an obstructed view in the nosebleeds where you're missing parts. But if you're in kind of the bowl and you're able to see, even from the angles coming in, I think you're getting a good view. I mean, I'm down there on the floor, first 10 rows. I mean, that's just kind of how I've decided to do this tour, work my way up front. So that when we get to March, I finally got front row for one show. That was the one.
Oh, geez, you're breaking a bank this year. The Kiss Cruise being up front. Wow. Don't tell the wife, right? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, if anyone wants to look up on eBay, that's why I'm selling off everything to pay for this stuff. No, I mean,
don't tell the kids. The kids' college fund.
No, I wanted to do front row one more time because one of the best shows done. I'm just explaining myself as a fan and where I come from, and I had tickets for front row on the farewell tour, and the experience of being up there was absolutely insane, and I had always.
But it was different. Way different than it is now.
And after that's nothing.
Thing I keep saying. Back then when you were up front, you were actually up front.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you actually, you and the barrier, a couple, maybe a foot.
Yeah.
A foot or two, whatever it was, a couple feet. Now, it's so far. Like, I wonder if the band misses that interaction. I know they need it so they shoot off the cannons and stuff. Well, and then they have that section for the super VIPs. Those things. One in front of Genia, one on like Tommy's side. Using all that, but that barrier is very far, very far from the thing. I wonder if they missed that reaction to getting close and,
You raise a good question. Love to talk to Paul about that.
Because Gene would stick his, feet out and, be like people touch and stuff like that. They would like them touch the feet and stuff like that, but that ain't going to happen anymore.
Well, unless you go on the cruise. Well, except that's not going to happen on the cruise anymore.
Not even on the cruise, because they pushed that barrier back since the earlier years now, too. So that's further pushed back. So, so I wonder if they missed that interaction, or the fans missed that interaction,
or that they're happy. Get them away from me. That's better.
I don't know what for what. If they're high enough.
But whatever, whatever.
Do.
Yeah, whatever the case, the front row ruined me. It ruined the concert experience. So fourth row was never good enough. 10th row was never good enough. Nosebleeds were certainly never good enough. So I wanted one more front row experience, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be in between.
Where you do that? Is it in California, to LA, or?
No, I'm not. I canceled LA because travel. But
so what's the other? When's the other show?
That'll be Oakland. So.
Oakland, so that's not too far from you. A couple hours.
Not even. It's just a little train ride. So.
Oh, that's not bad. And now, are you like in the front row? Where are you?
Between Gene and Paul.
Right? Are you in the middle? Somewhere in the middle area?
Yeah.
There you go. Nice. You just jumped right on that, didn't you?
I'm not gonna do any selfies. I'm not gonna film. I'm gonna leave.
You better do some. Come on, man. You got to do something.
Nope.
You got to do a little.
Nope.
You got to put a little smile on your face and go, see, it's the end. You got to. You got to have the person behind you. Hey, can you take a picture for me? You got to.
I'll have to do that with one of my friends is going to be next to me. We bought tickets
you got to do that, especially when they do the the rock and roll night and the confetti starts going off. You got to.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair game.
Fast. You're going to be like the whiteout, red and white whiteout, man. You got to. Yes, and they're still using the red and white confetti.
Good.
and they were only purple streamers. I didn't see any white last night.
So same streamers, same confetti, same balloons, black and white.
No, I sound boring. Everybody's like, "Yeah, man, you're always off the hook." I mean, like, and it's like I'm actually really mellow today because I don't know. It was fun. It was good to see. They sounded fine. It just didn't seem as that like loud sound good. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think you seem really enthusiastic. You don't seem down or, you know.
No, I mean, I went from David Lee Roth, their band being really loud. It wasn't like over loud, but it was loud. To Kiss, it came out and it was like loud, but then all of a sudden it was like, oh, they should be louder than the opening act, I thought. But
David Lee Roth, how loud was he on an Ace Frehley scale?
Not even close.
There you go.
I don't know if the people who were there that know, all right, but I'll tell you, people said, "Oh man, I've seen Ace Frehley. Ace Frehley's really loud now, like really loud." I'll tell you, I've been to a lot of Ace Frehley shows, because he lived in the Connecticut area, and he used to do a ton of shows in here in the late '80s, '90s, 2000s, whatever, and then now he's moved and wherever he's moving back and forth, wherever he's going, I don't know, whatever his Ace is doing now. So. There was a show in New Jersey, an outdoor show in a car parking lot, and everybody joke about it. There was it was a joke. Oh, Ace is playing. Look at he's playing in a dealership. All right, he's playing in a dealership in New Jersey. Wow, I'll tell you, talk about loud. People just like, oh my God. It was so loud. I'm telling you, if that was like indoors, people's ears would have been bleeding. I'm telling you, people would have been dropping on the ground. It was so loud. And he's just like, "Come on, turn it up, turn it up." I think the band at one point says, "No more." Some of these people like, "Don't do it. Don't raise your hands anymore, please. Don't do it." I mean, and I'm not complaining about loud music, but you could still hear him. It wasn't distorted either, but it was so. Oh my God! My ears were ringing for like a month.
And that's the sad thing for Ace is that he still couldn't hear his monitors, no matter how loud it gets. His hearing is just so affected. The poor guy. So
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I haven't seen him since. I don't think I've seen him since that. That was the last time I've seen him because he hasn't done anything around, say, this area or an area I can get to him yet. Probably will be coming back out when he does the Origins 2 or Origins 2's coming out. I would imagine so. I think it's supposed to be coming out at some point soon. I would hope. I wish he just skipped that and move on to his own stuff.
He's probably already working on the next studio album. I'm glad he's making music, being creative. I'm looking forward to Origins Volume 2 just because I'm interested to see what the track list is and what the stories are and why he's covering them. I hope he pulls something else out of the Kiss catalog. Maybe he picks a song off Lick It Up to do this time.
Why?
Why not? He's Ace. He's the Ace. He can do what he wants.
I know. I love Ace. You know that. Everybody knows that I love Ace too, and I love the music and all that stuff. But I wasn't really keen on Origins. I don't
listen to it much. Come on, I'm going to be honest. I don't listen to it. If I listen to any of those songs, it's usually because I'm listening to the album the original artist did the song on. When I'm listening to Ace Frehley, I'm listening to Spaceman, Space Invader, Anomaly, Frehley's Comet, all of his catalog. So
he doesn't need to sing all the time. That's the other thing, too. I think he should ask some other people to sing.
He's got some great singers in his band right now, so, who can do
well, who knows used. He does that, right? He switches off people.
Yeah.
Just because he uses the Gene Simmons band or whatever you want to call themselves, the Talisman guys, is that what they call themselves now? Or whatever they call themselves. I mean, did he really use them in the studio? Did he use other people in the studios? Who knows? That's his thing. Yes, I'm grateful that he's still around. I'm grateful that he's more healthy. I'm grateful that be able to see him when he does come out. I just like to see a new album. Hey, I would love to see another Gene and Paul album, another Kiss album. Really? I mean, how long has it been now?
As Pasquale mentioned, you're going to get that new Paul album sooner than later, Soul Station. So there you go. It'll make you happy. You'll be singing along for hours.
No, and I mean no as in no, as in like whatever. I want to, we've been through this, right? What was the last Kiss song, period, if you wanted, right? Isn't it the Japan song with the girls?
Isn't it Don't Touch My Ascot from Scooby-Doo?
Somebody mentioned that with me and Pasquale mentioned the other day on the video. But could you buy that, like, on a record or thing, officially? Yeah. No.
So the last one that you can buy.
So really, the last song was that Samurai song with the girls, right?
Yeah.
A Popgram Girls. Come on, really? Come on. It's been so many years. Even if they made a small EP.
No, do what Motley Crue did. Motley put out a single song, All Bad Things, to go with the end. One song. I'm sure there is still plenty of dross left over from Gene Simmons' vault that could be knocked into shape as a Kiss song with, whether it was Paul and Gene sharing vocals for one last time.
How about a Gene song, a Paul song, and then a Together song? They can sing.
Well, why not go the full hog then? A Gene song, a Paul song, a Tommy song, an Eric song, and a whole Together song, and just finish it off as an EP, like Quaternary from Motley Crue, just like the way they did that. So send Tommy off into the studio to do a solo song, but then bring it back to have Kiss do. So Tommy's the director and producer. Yeah. Same with Eric, have him.
Just something to kind of, just something. It's been so long, way too long.
I've totally lost. The will to worry about any of that anymore.
I'm not worried about it, but I just like it.
Or to even really think about it, because it just seems so futile. I put so much emotional energy into wishing that Psycho Circus wouldn't be the final Kiss album. I really wanted them to erase that as the bookend of their career, and they did with Sonic Boom and then with Monster in terms of albums. And the excitement when Sonic Boom was announced and coming to fruition and being released with the stories of the artwork and the songs and figuring out where they'd been recycled from, that really satisfied my urge for Kiss ever having to really do anything again. So, and one of those songs is being performed on this tour. So, would a final Kiss song be nice? Yeah, without a doubt.
If they had the one song, they could still fit it in. It's one extra song, fit it in the set list.
The Kiss, they wouldn't even need to perform it.
Or get rid of Say Yeah and put the newer song in.
I don't think Paul would allow that. So get rid of Psycho Circus. Get rid of Psycho Circus.
I have to say though, I think Psycho Circus actually works really well on this tour.
It does, I've never been a fan of it, but it is fun.
The whole visual thing and the sound of it sounds really good. I do. I really like that whole the circus tent thing in the background. It works. I think this works. And I do, even Kim, I know everybody said it too. This whole thing about Kiss in Vegas, man. I mean, that show now is set up for Vegas. Like, they could have actors playing Gene and Paul and using Gene and Paul and Tommy and Eric, their real voices, lip syncing in Vegas, and have actors doing basically this kind of setup.
Yep.
I mean, would it work? But for how long, I don't know. They'd have to keep changing and revamping the show after X amount of time, I would imagine. Just like everything else, there's so much stuff in Vegas, and then it just disappears. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Have X amount of a year, and then either revamp it if it did good, just revamp it. If it did good, if it didn't do so well, then it's done.
Yep.
But I mean, this is all set up perfectly for somebody to take over and do this in Vegas as a Vegas show. And people are like, how many people go to Vegas? A lot. How many people are in Vegas? A lot. How many people would go see it just on a curiosity basis if the tickets weren't like outrageous? A lot. I mean, imagine sitting there in a that thing and seeing this, like, oh man, this was Kiss. Yeah, I mean, this could be like when they're done. I mean, really done. Gene and Paul like passed away. And not that I want to say that ever happened. Jeez, no. But I mean, at some point we really physically and everything else can't do something. But I mean, that would be really cool. To something like that. And the other discussion was, again, like we talked about this yesterday too, is I'm just surprised that Gene and Paul haven't made some kind of deal like with the Universal Studios about doing a ride, for all these years, a ride, a Kiss ride, a coaster or a 3D thing. Come on, really? it's all set up.
I don't think the money's there, to be perfectly honest. I think Kiss is really fading in terms of its, popular culture appeal. I think that really is the past, which is why the stuff like, it's all Star Wars and Harry Potter these days, because it's just a different era, and we're hanging on to it.
If you're in the park, you go to it.
Yeah, but no one's going to invest in it to pay for it. So, and Gene and Paul are in the business of not losing their own money. They lose let other people, front the money and take the risk. They don't do the risk. And that's what they get from having built name value recognition, is that they get people who come to them with ideas and, more importantly, come to them with the funding. So,
true. I guess we have all these visuals would be kind of cool things to see from them.
All these things that they talked about, the Kiss theme park, I think that's all left in the past better, because when you look at something like Kiss Meets the Phantom, it didn't work then. And,
It worked then. It was like #1 television show. It worked. That's what they wanted. That's what they got. I mean, corny as it sounds, right? Or they were like the #2 thing.
Yeah,
most watched thing on TV.
In terms of today, it doesn't translate into what would work today with audiences.
Oh, you mean like trying to do the Kiss Meets the Phantom over again, or revamp
it, or trying to do anything at a theme park? I mean, people just want more and expect more out of it. That I think Kiss could really, provide as an experience, unless you're actually experiencing a Kiss concert from inside a cannon, one of the flame things, because the excitement is from the audience looking in on so many things that are Kiss related. So again, I like the idea that you mentioned that they're set up for Vegas, and who knows what the future will hold. But let's leave that here. We're at nearly 90 minutes.
All over the place. It's not like me and Pasquale and I were just like all over the place live at 4:30 in the morning.
And that's how it should be. But, it was important to touch base with someone who went to the show last night just to get a feel for it, for David Lee Roth. And, all the other topics that we've talked about are just, pure bonus of two friends talking, which is really nice.
I think the frame of people now have to go, if you're not new and you decide you're on the fence of going, it's again, you go or not go. If the a Groupon thing comes up and you're rather 2-for-1 tickets or whatever, whatever. If something's not selling, if you're on the fence of going, you want to go, go. If you don't want to go, I guess don't go. I mean, I'm not going as many shows this year either. I mean, I'm going another show. I'm skipping a couple more. I got other things to do. I want to save my money for and do stuff and other things, and I want to set up for this whatever next year the last show is.
Yeah. Same here. I mean, what I tell people, about going to these shows is, if you're on the fence because you don't agree with where Kiss has gone 15 years ago when that decision was made to continue, think about the social aspects. Could you get something out of it from congregating with friends, with fellow fans, and having those debates and talking and listening to the songs that, presumably you still like, regardless of what the band made as a business decision way back when? Put that stuff off to the side and maybe go because you want to be a part of the community side of it one last time, rather than the band. And if you're just really not into it, you don't have to justify yourself to anyone. Do what's right for you.
And I'm telling you, all of us, when this totally really ends, within a year or two, all of us are going to go, oh my God, I wish they'd come back.
We'll need freaking therapy.
What am I going to do? Or all of us going to need some kind of therapy in a way. Seriously. Some people, they should just retire and it's over with. Well, I got news. Even as you say all that stuff, at some point, you're going to be like, oh my God, where is this? I want to meet up with friends again before the show, talk about the show, do all this stuff, and the same thing, and be like, oh man, I missed this. They've been on the road now for how long? They haven't taken a break. That's the other thing. They haven't really taken a huge long break. They've never been really out of kind of the public eye. Huge, and they can, like I said, they can still draw, and they've been on tour. So anyways, but I did enjoy it. We had fun, and that's all that counts, really. We had fun.
That's the perfect ending spot. We had
fun.
We
looked at each other. We danced around a little bit. We had fun. We had drinks. We had great friends again. Meet up with some old friends. Meet new friends. Have fun. That's all I can say nowadays. Because you've been to so many shows. I mean, unless something seriously, something super backly changes on a thing, it's whatever it is. Who knows? Maybe they'll change some songs as they keep going on too. Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they can keep it fresh. Knock in a few songs here, and one. It's ones or twosies, and that's fine. So,
and maybe a special guest will show up.
Yep. Well, I've had my special guest for this week, so I'm gonna end it there.
Thanks for having me on, and thanks for having Pasc on. And again, it's always fun to do this stuff. And I know I'm not as all crazy and wild as I usually am, but we still had a lot of fun. And I'm just grateful that I mean, geez, man, I'm still seeing the band. I was like, man, if I'd be able to see the band until I'm 30, right? The band would last till I'm 30. It's awesome. 40, wow. I mean, 51 in March. I'm like, wow, I'll still be able to see them. They're going to be 51 in, March, and I'm going to see them in September again, and I can still be, seeing them. And you're like, again, Gene's 70, Yep. It's like seeing your mom or your dad if you're in that kind of age group. Hey, you do that for a couple hours, You got to give them credit.
Got to give them respect.
They can't run around as fast as they used to, but you still got to give them 1,000% credit to be able to do that as much as they can. As much as they can.
And Tommy and Eric have to work hard as well,
they all do. That's the thing. Yep. And Gene's creeping around a little bit more, I seem to notice. Maybe because it is the agent slowing down. But he's starting to do more of that kind of creeping thing again, like the old days. At least I love that. The slow creeping thing.
Well, maybe he's getting some vitamin B shots before the show, so.
Maybe. Who knows?
Whatever.
And Paul's not jumping and doing as much, but I mean, he still, he put his feet together and does that. The with his feet going like that. I'm telling you, if you don't do that, that's a lot of strain. That's a lot of strain on your knees alone. If you did that in sneakers and shoes, try doing that. And then, of course, you get the platforms on. You got to get Paul, especially he said hip surgeries, knee surgeries, right? You name it, man. If he's still doing that, doing that thing, doing this, man, that's a toll. Especially, they're in this. He's 68, 69, whatever. I mean. You gotta give him credit. Seriously, you gotta give the two guys credit. He's still pulling good half decent numbers. People complain, oh, they're not making money. Of course they're making money. If they weren't making money, they wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. We all had fun, and that's all I can say. I mean, that's it.
Cool.
I mean, people leaving with smiles too. People are like, oh, that was cool. That was awesome. Love hearing that stuff when you start leaving. First time I've ever seen them. Love that. Oh, that was cool. That was really cool. So. I can't do what I did, even though I'm spazzy sometimes and run around like my head cut off and do all kinds of crazy. I can't do what I did when I was 10. You know what I mean? I still, stuff I can't do anymore. I wish I could do, but it is what it is. So, anyways, again, it was we had fun. The end.
And let's end it on there. The end.
I know.
So thank you, Andy.
No,
and
thanks,
Pasc, for coming on the show to talk about last night's show and a whole bunch of other stuff. And thank you all for listening to the KissFAQ podcast, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now. Thank you for spending time listening to the KissFAQ podcast today. All sales are final. There are no refunds. If you'd like, look us up on Facebook or come over to the KissFAQ message board and discuss the topic we've broadcast today. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, Spreaker, or wherever you've listened to the show. We hope you'll join us again.